Hey, what's going on everyone? This is Mike Kollin at MikeKollin.com. This one's from the heart. So this video is inspired by Justin Bieber's new song, Lonely. Play it for about 2 or 3 times in a row. It is a tearjerker. And I like it so much I uploaded it to the top of my website at MikeKollin.com. So the song, if you know about narcissist abuse and you've been paying attention even a little bit to what had happened to Justin Bieber over the last probably 10 plus years with P. Diddy and what he did to him, when you listen to the song understanding what they do to you, you'll understand. And it really makes it sad. A lot of people think it's just a relationship song. It's not a relationship song. It's a narcissist abuse song. The volume of the music will go down in about another minute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read off some of the lyrics that really caught me. He says, "What if you had it all, but nobody to call? Maybe then you would know me. 'Cause I've had everything, but no one's listening, and that's just lonely." Okay, let me read a little bit more here. He said, "Everybody knows my past now, just like Narcissist." So let me do it again. "Everybody knows my past now, like my house was always made of glass, and maybe that's the price you pay. And everybody saw me sick, and it felt like no one gave a shit. They criticized the things I did as an idiot kid. And everything is not the same now. It feels like all our lives have changed. Maybe when I'm older, it'll all calm down, but it's killing me now." So the purpose of me bringing this up is that, like the very last section, a lot of you, when you went through narcissist abuse. Now, here's the thing. If you don't know much about what happened with Justin Bieber, but if you understand narcissist abuse very well and you've been through it, go look at what has happened to Justin Bieber. Everything that's been released in the last 5 or 6 days. You're going to very much realize, like, oh, that whole thing that P. Diddy did and that whole group of people, that's all demonic narcissism. They destroyed him emotionally inside. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is not because, oh, it's Justin Bieber. I really wasn't a fan of Justin Bieber's, but I did see what he was going through. And here's the thing. I don't think Justin Bieber actually understands what narcissist abuse actually is. I don't think he's ever studied it, heard about it, watched a video about it. If he were to watch videos on narcissist abuse, he would absolutely identify with every single thing you learn when it comes to narcissist abuse. One of the things, or one of the reasons why I brought it up is because the name of the song is Lonely. And that's exactly how you feel when you go through it. It's like, nobody understands it. It's funny because a lot of people in one of the clips of this song when he's on tour singing it, Taylor Swift is there, and so is, I can't remember her name right now. But they're like, they understand what he's going through and what his song is actually about. And most people are like, oh, it's his breakup with Selena. No. That's not it. It's what he went through. And it's just like everything you guys went through. It's not just him. The reason why I'm bringing this to light is because I think the reason why a lot of you guys like not just my channel, but just listening to other people's narcissist abuse channels is because you can identify it and you realize these people have been through it. They understand. Because it is lonely. Nobody understands. Nobody that you talk to. And the emptiness is unbelievable. The other purpose for bringing up this video in the past few videos is because what I'm trying to show you guys, and I hope you guys actually see this. This whole thing is blowing apart. The whole thing is, it's like It's like that last brick in the dam finally broke, and the whole dam is starting to collapse right now. The whole thing, from the top to the bottom, from rich and famous all the way down to the poorest of the poor. Because what happened to Justin Bieber is what's happened to all of us. I don't mean every human on the planet, but those of us who have been through it. So it's happened in every country, in every state, in every county, in every city, in every family, in every school. Our whole lives, we have prayed to God for this to stop. And for decades, we didn't even know what this was. We didn't understand what we were going through. We didn't understand why we were going through it. And the worst part is we felt guilty, like it was our fault. And that's exactly one of the biggest tricks that narcissists play on our minds. Like, oh, it's you. It's what they call reverse blame and reverse shame. So it's called blame shifting. So I almost lost my point. My point or purpose of what I'm trying to say is this, is that everything that's happening right now with Justin Bieber, with P. Diddy, with Hollywood, this is what we prayed for. It's not just happening to those people. It's happening from the top all the way down to the bottom, all to our level, what we went through. Things are being revealed. This is all part of the process. What we're going through right now is absolutely a sign. It's not just a sign. It's like, oh, it's happening. The world is waking up. It is literally being revealed, and people are now starting to hear more and more about narcissist abuse, about what's going on. And this whole thing has captured the attention of the entire world, and people are now finally starting to open up to what's been going on for centuries, thousands and thousands of years. Your prayers and the prayers of the world are finally being answered. And I don't mean just in the last 20 years or 100 years. I'm talking thousands of years. All the way back even before the day that the Bible was written. At least I should say before the Garden of Eden, okay? The Garden of Eden, you went through it in your lifetime. That's what this is all about. It's all about narcissist abuse. It wasn't just Adam and Eve. It was us now, us 10 years ago, 20 years, 100, 200, 1,000, 2,000 plus years. The promise of Christ, the very purpose of why he came, is what we're going through right now. What was Christ all about? He was helping people that have gone through narcissist abuse, through the demonic thing, through the seed of Cain, through the serpent, the whole trick, all of that stuff, the shame, the blame, everything that narcissists have been doing to mankind for thousands of years. Jesus Christ came and died on the cross for this very purpose. His teachings were for this very day of what we're going through right now. What we're seeing right now, it's what I'm calling the first strike. This is the first strike. If you've noticed, I've actually been pretty enthusiastic and happy about my last 4 or 5 videos because of what's happening. It has been a long, long day waiting this very day. Honestly, you should be excited about the events that have been unfolding for the last week or so. This is not just about them. This is about the entire world. And I don't mean just right now. I mean dating all the way back to when Jesus was walking the planet. It's like our victory is here. It is happening. I would love to sit down with Justin Bieber for about a week, about 2 hours a day. Maybe a little bit more, and break everything down about narcissist abuse, because right now he still feels guilty. He still feels ashamed. He still feels like, oh, it's my fault. And that's how all of us felt, like, oh, it was our fault somehow. It's like they punch you in the face and then they blame you for it. Like it's your fault somehow. And being raised this way, or even if you deal with a narcissist for 6 months or even a little bit less, like you suddenly feel like you're the blame, there's something wrong with you, you're no good, because that's what they've mastered. They've mastered the art of destroying your self-respect, your self-esteem, and you begin to feel like it's me, but you're like, but what did I do? And that's part of the game, by the way. Most of the time they never actually tell you what you actually did, but everything you do is wrong. The reason why they never specifically say, hey, I don't like it when you do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, is because if you know what you're doing wrong, hey, no problem. Now you can fix it. But if you don't know what you did wrong, you're going to spin and spin and spin and spin. And this is called gaslighting. This is what puts doubt in your mind. This is what makes you go, well, see, instead of it being, oh, I did something wrong, it becomes, it's me. I'm just wrong. Everything about me is wrong. And that's why they do that. That's why they're really vague about what you do, or every little thing, step on a crack, break your teacher's back. Oh, you said this wrong. Oh, I didn't like that you used that one word. It's like they get you walking on eggshells, and so you can't really fix anything because everything you do is wrong. And then you start to realize, like, well, it's just me. And it's an unconscious thing. Their whole goal is to convince you that you are what's wrong. And if you haven't figured it out, there's nothing wrong with you. In fact, that's really the whole, trick of all this, is it's what's right about you that makes them upset. It's because everything about you, they wish that they were. I'm going to use Justin Bieber as an example. There was a video I saw very recently, like 2 nights ago, when he was really young and he's with P. Diddy, and he's just this really happy, shiny kid, beautiful blonde hair. But it wasn't his physical, it was the light. He was just shiny. He was happy. He was enthusiastic. He was just this ball of energy, this ball of light. And that's why they did to him what they did. And so are you. It's still there, by the way. And if you're not through the tunnel yet, you will. So if you're in what I call the Great Wall of China, where you're isolating yourself, you're just going to work, going home, you're not going out with friends, you're cutting people out of your life, you're blocking people, you're spending time alone, you will get through this and your light will be brighter and you will be smarter and stronger and a lot wiser. I don't mean, oh, you're going to be wise. I mean, you're going to understand the game, and now you're going to start winning. That's what it means to be wiser. And that's what this whole thing about that we're going through in the last 10, 12 days or however long it's been. It's like we're winning. We are finally, it's like we kicked the damn door open and everything is pouring out. And now we're starting to kick ass. I would love to be Justin Bieber's therapist for about 3 months, maybe 5 months at most. I don't think you'd need much more than that. I would turn him around so fast. He would step back into his light, back into his power, and he would be another bright, shining light. Okay, so there's 2 people I want to thank for sending donations. Sonia Sharp sent $50, and also Candy Oliver sent $50. I thought it was kind of funny they both sent the same amount. But I want to thank you ladies very, very much. I really appreciate it, especially in these times right now. And if you do want to support this channel and my work, I would really appreciate it. There's a PayPal donation link right there in the description right beneath the video. So another thing I want to bring up, there's a couple thoughts. So number one, I want you guys to acknowledge yourselves and congratulate yourselves on being consistent on watching videos, learning about narcissist abuse. Because it has a worldwide effect on everyone around the world. Call it the collective or call it whatever you want. And I'm going to prove it scientifically. This will be the final piece for this video. So there's something called the 100th monkey syndrome. In fact, there was a book written about this, and there have been actual studies done about this for spanning back to I think the 90s or the 80s. So this was brought up to my awareness in an NLP training. Again, it was at 5-week training in Hawaii in the early 90s. So for those of you who still don't really realize, very aware, we are all connected on an energetic level. So here's what happened. They went to this remote, and the key word is remote, this island that was all by itself, and there was a bunch of monkeys, and the monkeys have been there for probably hundreds and hundreds of years, maybe even thousands of years, and they've never had any interaction with any other species or whatever. Because they're on this isolated island out in the middle of nowhere. So some scientists went out there, And what they did was they were messing with things as they always do, and they were doing tests and studies. And what they did was they wanted to see if they could teach the monkeys how to wash their food before they ate them. Now, it has been a long time since I read this book, and a long time I heard anything about it. So we're going back about 30 years. So forgive me if I'm just going to give you the gist of the story. Sorry, it's not a story. It's an actual scientific study they did. So these isolated monkeys, I think they used potatoes, and what they did was they went out and they were giving the monkeys the potatoes, or maybe potatoes were growing naturally, and they would pull them up or whatever, and they'd get them in their hands, and they would just eat them with the sand and the dirt, etc. And so what happened was the scientists came along and said, hey, let's teach some of these monkeys how to wash it off in the stream or in the river, or I think it was a stream actually, but there's water going by. And so they showed them how to wash it and then eat it, and they enjoyed it much better. So then those monkeys started to wash their food basically before they ate it. So they showed a couple more monkeys, or I don't know how many more, 5, 10, 15 more monkeys to do this, etc. And then what happened was the other monkeys started watching this, and they themselves began learning how to do it also. So essentially more and more monkeys began to learn one way or another how to wash their food. Now, at about the number 100, so when the 100th monkey learned how to wash their food, and they've been doing this for a couple of days, a couple of weeks, reports started coming in from around the world. And the reports were that suddenly, magically, out of nowhere, this has never happened in the history of at least when mankind has been alive. All of a sudden, monkeys around the world were starting to wash their food before they started to eat it. This was a brand new phenomenon. Now, mind you, this wasn't being taught anywhere else in the world. It was just this one set of scientists that went to this island that did this test, that did this study, because they wanted to see what would happen. Would they start teaching each other? Would they start watching? Would they start learning? Can they learn how to do this? Will they continue to do it? And it was only happening on this one, again, keyword is isolated island. They were so far away, they couldn't swim to another island because it was so far away out in the ocean. This is what is called collective consciousness. When you get enough people to start to heal, to become conscious, to become more and more aware, it begins to spread around the world. So this thing that I call first strike when it comes to the Hollywood elite and everyone going down right now, P. Diddy and all these other people. Now I'm sure you guys have been watching a little bit of the news and maybe YouTube news. Everyone's telling everyone all of a sudden. Videos are popping up everywhere. What this is doing is it's shocking a lot of people that were asleep. It's shocking them awake. Because all these years the child actors have been telling, hey, this is what's going on. Please help us. This has to stop. We have to do something. This is what happened to me. This is what happened to this person. All these actors that spit it out, put it on video, a lot of them that had gotten killed, murdered, or overdosed, or whatever you want to call it. Not everyone, but a lot of people, the majority, by far the majority of people just wrote it off like, oh, they're just weird, they're on drugs, oh, that's how Hollywood is, they're just making stuff up, they just want attention. And all of a sudden, all these people that worshipped these idols, these singers, these actresses, these actors, all of a sudden they're going, wait a minute, this is real? It's a massive slap to the face. It's like the slap that was heard around the world. It's smacking people back into consciousness, into being in the present moment, into opening up and being willing to listen, go, wait a minute, I've been hearing this stuff for decades. I thought it was just a bunch of BS. So you've heard the phrase, the shot that was heard around the world. Well, we got the smack that was heard around the world. It is causing people to spiral. And I don't just mean the people getting in trouble. I mean the people that have worshipped these people that have been in, here's the word, the majority of people that have been in denial. They got shocked awake. And now all of a sudden, a lot more people are questioning everything. Because before, not only would they, defend their heroes and their idol worshippers, They wouldn't even acknowledge it. That they'd be like, what? No, you're just being weird. You know, P. Diddy's cool and so-and-so's cool. Yeah, like these people would never do anything like that. They just blindly accepted it. And that's the key word, blindly. Now they got the they got the blinders smacked off of them. And now I have eyes and now I can see. The only reason why I keep bringing this up is because I want you guys to know there's not just hope. There's much more than hope. Things are moving, things are happening, and the light is finally shining on the dark. So rest assured, everything we've prayed for is coming through right now. And it's like a compound interest rate. It's like 10 to the second power, then it's going to be 10 to the third, 10 to the fourth, because it amplifies, it spreads faster and faster and faster, like a wildfire. You know, it's like, all right, here's something I just came up with, and let me just spit out. So healing is painful. It just is. I've done a lot of emotional healing work, and it is, when you dive deep and you do this energy healing where it opens things up and it allows it to come up, well, you have to go through literally the fire. And it is not an easy thing to do. It is emotional, it is scary, it is shame comes up, guilt comes up, every emotion you can imagine, depending on which part that you're clearing, will come up. So healing it's, you know, I really want to say this because a lot of people think it's an easy, it is not easy. It is, when you do call it the, what's the work, the shadow work, it is hard. And a lot of you, especially if you're going through this, you know, what I call the Great Wall of China, the Dark Night of the Shadow, when you isolate yourself and you're just going through it, you are doing the healing work. You are doing the shadow work. It was forced upon you, narcissist abuse. Now, I don't mean that necessarily in a bad way, but it's like, hey, something caused this whole thing to come falling down. And now you're going through it, which means you're healing, or at least healing a few parts at a time. So essentially we're going through two things at the same time as a world, as a collective, as a human race. We are not only going through birthing pains, we are also going through healing pains. Alright, that's it guys. God bless you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you got something out of it, and I hope that it has helped you in some way. Things are moving rapidly and they are turning around. We are in the midst of it. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button, click subscribe, make a comment, and if you'd like, go ahead and make a donation. There is a PayPal link right there in the description box below the video. God bless you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.